Okay. Can you hear me? Yep. Well, good morning. It is October 3rd, and we just had unemployment claims come in a little bit higher than was expected. You know, and that was at 8:30, 9:45. We'll have final services PMI and then ISM services PMI at 10 o'clock, which are, this will be, yeah, 8:30, even 9:45. I would still keep an eye on it. And then at 10 o'clock, we have some news. Today's going to be a faceless sort of live stream. I don't have my camera. Well, I do have my camera set up. I just don't have it connected and stuff. Um, but anyways, I might hook it up in a second. But this is what we have right now. Okay. I am in a position right now. I took 2 micros, nothing crazy, just 2 micros to the downside. Um, for now, I see a couple of things, and actually, let's go over them. Let me hide. Let me hide these so it doesn't. So there. Now it's cleaner. Now we can't. You know. Yeah. So it's just cleaner. All right. So let's get to it. Let's start from the top. We remember we have this 9:45. So as soon as market opens, 10 minutes, 15 minutes after, we'll have some news, and then 10 o'clock we'll have news. 9:50 macro. So there's the market should be moving here in the morning, and we could be able to catch some trades, in its direction. I did get stopped out here. I initially, all right, let me talk through this for a second. Long story short, I took an entry here. I took an entry here, took half of my position off. Then I saw that we had the news coming up. So this was before 8:30. Took my position off. Took the like 1/3 or almost half, so like a quarter of that. Took it off here and then let the rest kind of sit here. It stopped me out, you know. It hung around here for a second, then it just created this Judas swing, stopped me out, and now it's moving lower. So I actually got back in with 2 micros around this area here, and stop loss right above this up here. Um, and I'll tell you why in a second. I'm still in this trade about a 1-to-1 right now. So stop loss here, enter here, and now we're here. So it's like a 1-to-1. I'm trying to target, honestly, I want to see all of this get ran through, all of this. And let's talk about why. So let's go to the daily for a moment. We've obviously kind of created we've changed the direction of where we're going. That was very clear by this weekly fair value gap closed underneath, consequent encroachment of that. And this is also like, if you're not following trend lines, right? Like, I don't really do trend lines and stuff like that, but it's an aftermath of what price has done. So if we look at this, right, you can see that we're sort of following this line, right? Like, we're respecting this level here, this area, like moving up. And you can see that we're creating this sort of trend, right? Like, this line is literally just being respected. So we can expect a couple of things. Okay, well, maybe price, we don't know exactly when or how, but price will come up into this area at some point. It could have come up here, it could have come up here, but the most, we're aligning time with price, right? And if we do X and Y, these align perfectly, right? So we can kind of assume, hey, maybe we have a change or a direction for, even if it's for a moment, right? We'll have some of that, and ultimately, like, this could come back up here, but then where's the next one? The next one could be, somewhere like this, or let's just say we create a channel, right? It's like, all right, cool. We create a channel. You can see how price was sort of respecting this, stalling around here. And I mean, you can kind of play around with this. But the next place I want to see price sort of trade into might be, something like right here. So anyways, all I'm have to say is we're going lower. That was a long way to explain that. Um, we hit this fair value gap on the weekly, right? So we've just hit this fair value gap. We could continue to see higher prices, right? From here. So we're in an area that we can anticipate some sort of reversal or continuation to the downside. Currently, we're trading right above that fair value gap. We do not seem to want to get underneath that. And this is on a weekly. Let's go to the 7-day, 3. Here we have a 3-day fair value gap right here. Could possibly move into. It is also lining up within a 2-day fair value gap, which yep. And then the daily, we have a daily fair value gap inside of that. We have and this is also, you could see this as a BPR, right? Small BPR, well, thin BPR, not small, thin. Right there, over a daily fair value gap, we have a second one here. If we were to rebalance all of this, right? Let's just go from here. Let's just rebalance this whole move. 50% of that move is right here. We also have it, and then we can invert this, right? And this could become our inversion fair value gap that we could tap into. 50% of this move, right? Tap into that, take out liquidity, and then move higher. Or we could move into, there's another inversion here. Possibly move into, this would make this to me makes more sense, right? To continue higher, right? A healthy pullback over here, continue higher. This can continue higher and then move lower, right? Again, we don't know. So we're just kind of watching price at this point. This is 50% of that move, like I said, is right here. It is also inside of this inversion fair value gap. So I'll be watching out for this one here. We just tapped into, we've been tapping into this weekly, and we haven't really broken that yet. So just something to keep in mind. Now before we get into it, also I'm gonna go make some coffee and we'll talk through what we can expect price to do. I also marked some opening prices, some true open prices, which if you don't know about it, it's just quarterly theory. If you have questions about it, let me know. I'll do my best to explain it. I didn't come up with this. I am simply just learning it as well. Okay, so now let's go to the 8-hour. Here's the 8-hour. This is what we have. We had, our move to the downside. Where is this thing? Oh, we're currently sitting here, but we left this open. We left this open here. We did trade into it, but we left a lot of it open. So maybe at some point I would want to see us trade back into this. Right? We've already traded into that weekly. Maybe we trade back into this before going lower, right? So this is a 6-hour, same thing. It's in there. This is the same 6-hour. We could continue just to see lower prices if price is really in a hurry to go lower, right? So I can do anything. You can see how we just how many times prices try to break through underneath, and eventually we got that move, which this was an insane move. If you remember that was wild. All right. Here's a 3-hour, same thing, where fair value gap tapped into it. There are small sort of PD arrays here. We've got a fair value gap here, which we are currently respecting to the downside. So our bearish order flow is still being respected, right? We don't have any fair value gaps here. The only one, the bearish one is here. So it's this one. Then we had this one, created that one, traded back into it and dropped lower. Here's a 2 hour. This one sits inside of, this one sits right here. We also traded into this, tapped into it, respected this. Yeah, I mean, this move here is now balanced, right? From here to here. We balance this move to OTE, right? And then we move lower. So this is balanced for us to continue lower. Now, if we want to go like any higher at this point, I would want to see us. Okay, so we did create SMTs down here. So this is a 2 hour SMT here. Yeah. This is a 2 hour SMT. Boom. This is the first one that we had here. Take us lower. Now we have this one, which could potentially take us higher. But I don't know. This is one of those places where I'm like, all right, cool. The overall, my overall bias is, it's been bearish, but that could change, right? I would like to see us sort of manipulate all of this. Well, this is manipulation here on a new week opening gap. So, I mean, at this point, we can just kind of sit here and watch and see how price delivers, right? Continue to follow, see if we have some of these SMTs. Like right here, we have an SMT between YM, and I'm looking at the most recent ones too, right? Like this was one, and then we created this one, so then this became the most recent. Then now we have this one, which now is the most sort of recent inside, and I think this is where I would validate this too, right? Inside of a fair value gap. This is a fair value gap. We created SMTs into that, and even, I guess you can even say like within these two fair value gaps. So we created SMTs between these two and to go lower. So then I dropped, this is where I saw that entry, right before 8:30, and I took my position off before 8:30, or at least most of it, because I didn't know where price could go. And price could obviously, like, price could have come up here and try to trade into this fair value gap again before going lower with that push of red folder news, which we know red folder news kind of moves a lot, and I just wasn't willing to risk my position that I was in. So I took some profits, ultimately getting stopped out in profit anyways, or sorry, with profit already. And so it wasn't a big deal. But another thing is, I was looking at our opens, and we had our midnight open, our 7:30 a.m. open, and our 1:30 a.m. open, and I felt like this was a we were above, and if my bias is bearish, then I would want to see prices deliver lower at this point, right above all of my opening prices. We do have a weekly, which is somewhere, the weekly is somewhere, I don't know, I don't remember. So anyways, this is why I took this, right? So I saw this and I was like, okay, let me drop into a lower time frame. And I was starting to look, okay, well, do we have SMTs? We had a 1 hour, 51 minute SMT here, right, between YM. So I was like, okay, let me move even lower. Let's go to the 3 minute. And at this point, this is right now. This is actually happening now. So before, it was just from here to here. Yeah, from here to here, and then from here to here, I think. Yeah, so this was my setup SMT. I was like, all right, cool, we can get in. But then 8:30 news came up, and then it started respecting all of this, ultimately creating that Judah swing. So now we also have SMTs like this. Now we have this SMT, and we have this tiny little, on the 1 minute, we have this SMT here. All right, we can go to the 15-second. All right, SMT up here. Boom. Is that it? No, that's not. Where did I see that? Okay, we had this one. So we had this one here, from here to here. And that's it. And so I took a second entry here. I waited for this to close below this candle. I was hoping to get filled there, but it didn't happen. Yeah, I was hoping to get filled here, but anyways, I waited for this. I was like, oh, we're just gonna drop. Then this candle came back up and tapped into here. And so I took an entry around here. Sorry, after like around this area. 162, right? 62.75, right here. This was my entry. My stop loss is above these double candle opens and whatever, or close. 72, 72 right there. Yeah, right there. There's my stop. And so I'm literally just gonna let this, and this is 2 micros, so I don't have too much. It's just 2 micros, but I want to see all of this get ran through, all of this right here. If we can run through all of that, right? This should be a quick run on liquidity to take us down into this area. Okay. So if we get let's see. So I'm just looking at these areas here, right? It's like, okay, we're creating, this could create SMTs, but I'm gonna go to the 5-minute. Look at some of these swing lows here. This is a low from this session, or this 90-minute. Yeah, so this could be sequential here. Anyways, just watching, now I'm just watching price, right? I'm watching price. I want it to deliver lower from this SMT that we had from today, from London session, right, to New York, and Asia to New York. So we have multiple SMTs. We have sequential SMTs that take us lower, and there's nothing there's small SMTs. I'll say that there's small SMTs that will take us a little bit higher. And I think this is where I'm trying to get better at, is understanding and seeing the SMTs that happen on a lower sort of time frame, right? Like right here, we have one that should take us higher. And I can expect that. I can expect this to be sort of a retracement. And I can say, all right, well, I want to take some profits here, wait for price to come up, have another limit order somewhere around here, or do I just want to ride this out, see my profits go back, come in, go back, but ultimately, like this, I want to see it just kind of get ran through, and then maybe hold in here, right here, come back up, rebalance this, and then move into this area. Does that make sense? My entry is, let's see if I can put it up here. There's my entry. So I've got um, two micros. And this is on the 5 minutes. So you can see my entry is at 972. Let me mark this out. I'm sorry, my stop is right there. My entry is at 62. My stop is, or my entry is right here. Yeah, I put my stop right above that new day opening gap. I kind of eyeballed it. I like, yeah, but I did use this tool, this long and short position tool before doing that. So I had this already set up and I just kind of moved it where I want to put my stop and then took an entry like that. Um, I don't think I don't think I would add to this position right now. I mean, I could, but I just don't know if I want to. I don't like, I didn't get the best entry, right? From this up here, I didn't get the best entry. I would have taken it. Yeah, I don't know. As soon as I saw this tap into this new week opening gap and the new day opening gap, I was like, dang it. But at that point, it moved so quickly. So I missed all of this and I didn't want to get in down here until I saw some sort of confirmation. Then we broke under the, I think it was this candle we closed below, but then we just kept going. I was like, frick. So I didn't get in. Then once we pulled back up, took that entry, and that's it. Makes sense. I am now going to move my stop to right there. 6 6. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly where I'm at. I need to let's see. Let's this is where you guys can see it too, right? So it's not just honestly at this point, my there's no PD arrays right now except for this, so I'll probably have my my TP. At least I'll take one contract off. Yeah. There it is. There's my trade. Yeah, 2 micros right now. Let's see, any SMTs yet? No. Yes. Yes, we have SMTs here, so I'll take a contract off now. I took a stop for one contract here or a limit for one contract here. Okay, took one contract off just now. Just in case this thing wants to go back, right? Because of this. Because of this right here, we do have SMT, right? And this is sort of an internal SMT. YM is moving lower. ES is not taking this. YM has already taken this too. So now we're looking for this low. So that's kind of how I'm using. Like there's, I don't know. I used to have like, okay, cool, I can take profit here or whatever, but I think I've been sort of looking at SMTs. Like once an SMT forms, then I can get out of partial out of my trade, right? Just in case this thing does want to continue higher, like which it probably will. It'll probably come back into some sort of PD array. In this case, maybe this fair value gap or one of these opening times before going lower. And honestly, I don't want to give back, any more than really. I don't want to give anything back. So this is what I'm doing now, and this is where we're at. So you can see I took half of my position from up here. Yeah. And it just I felt this was the right move just because of where we were, right? We were on I think this is a 30-minute, some sort of fair value gap here, into another high time frame fair value gap up here that we created that SMT, multiple SMTs to take us lower. Like I said, entry here, stop loss is now here. Honestly, there's probably no reason for me to have a stop loss up here. I would probably put it right above like that candle or that 7:30 a.m. open. Yeah, right there. That's where my stop loss is at now. So if I come back up, get stopped out, I'm cool with that. And that's the trade. That's what I've got right now. Anyways, I'm gonna go make me some coffee. I'll be right back. I'm still expecting prices to run all of this, right? Like this, all of this. This could be your, could be your run on liquidity right here, right? Once we trade into this, we look for SMT. Okay. Does it make sense? Hamza. Honestly, I don't even know where we came up with Hamza. Hamza just kind of happened. So why wouldn't I put my stop somewhere down here? You could. So right now, since I already took off my basically half of what I had, which was 2 micros, I could let this, I could move my stop loss, right? I move my stop loss above a candle that I do not want to see being traded above. So I know I have a fair value gap here. Let me get rid of this. I know I have a fair value gap here, right? And if we want to continue order bearish order flow, then we want to see this being respected. I wouldn't want to see price trading above into this, right? We have a couple of things too. We have the opening times. A lot of these opening times are going to serve as support, or sorry, resistance for price. If we are in a bearish order flow, right? This SMT is telling us right now that, hey, we might want to go up for just a bit, which is totally fine. But I don't want to see us push. I don't want to get back past this point, right? We also have a fair value gap here. So yes, we could trade back into this. We could get stopped out. And then it's like unfortunate, wick and then go lower. But I'm okay with that, just because I don't want to see this get traded above, right? And invert this. Because once we invert this, we could continue to see higher prices into maybe other PD arrays that formed, which there are none really. We have this order block here. Just mark the bodies. So again, this is, we could tap into this order block and we can do a lot of things, but then the first thing is I want to see price respecting this fair value gap right now to take us lower, run this liquidity. So I actually took this take profit out, since I already took half of my position here. Once we created this SMT, right? Once we created this SMT, I sort of locked in some profit. And then if we do get a chance to run back lower, then this one is sort of just it's a runner. And I'm not worrying about, oh, I have my full position in there. I just gave back, you know, if I would have kept it, I literally would have given back 60 ticks of this. And yeah, I don't want to give back more than I have to. I still want to hold this position, but that's sort of my thought process through this, right? We also have, right, we could trade into this, which we did. This breaker on the 5 minute, the beginning of a breaker. This is basically half of the breaker, right? Your full breaker is this. This is your full breaker. So we traded into that first half, respecting that, and hopefully taking those lower. Right? We have a couple of points of liquidity that are pretty close together. We could run, right? Like we could run all of this here. Just that would be an easy run for price before continuing higher. And not necessarily higher, but just to pull back, take out some of this liquidity up here, or whatever it wants to do. But we're just kind of following price at this point. Yeah, we're respecting this right now. So continue to watch that. YM continues to move lower. All right. Now I want to see this low. I want to see how that low reacts to price. And I don't really care to see, I do want to see us move um, into this new week opening gap for NQ. Market opens here shortly, so just keep that in mind too. If you're holding this position, just know that you're like, okay, there's gonna be volatility injection happening soon at 9:30. So if you have a position open, you know, and you caught this 8:30 to the downside, this would be a good place for you to start to take some partials or take some profit, right? We have this inversion that is currently respecting to go higher, right? We have this respecting to go lower. So there's a couple of things that, you know, we could look at. We have this breaker respecting to go lower. If we break below this, right, invert that, that would be sort of an inverted BPR to the downside. I'd like to see that. But then again, 9:30 open is coming up. So I think I'll be out of this position before 9:30 open. It's only 1 micro at this point. Um again, I didn't get like the best of entries here, but it's an entry nonetheless. I wasn't willing to risk more than, you know, more than whatever that was for this. This was our daily here, so we'll keep that. No, we don't need it. 'Kay. Okay. 15 minutes. And yeah, this is still moving in the direction we want to see it go. Currently breaking this, but I want to, once we close below it, let's see, we're just holding this right now. Once we close below this, I think, yeah, there it is. Yeah, again, just watching price right now. So
Hmm? Yes. No, you're fine. Thank you. No, I'm okay. Hello? Yeah. What's up? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just can you be can you just tell Ellie to do her school? And if you can help Elias, you can. Holy moly. If he wants to keep going again. Wait, who's there? Hi, Dahlia. Well, that's awesome. I didn't know that Dahlia was gonna be there, so that's why I was like, do school. Yeah, that's fine. Bye, love you, bye.
who are you talking to? Dr. Phil? All right. So it looks like, let me adjust my mic. All right. So 9:30 is coming up soon. 9 minutes to go. Yeah, I'm still continuing to hold this to the downside. We broke underneath this BPR, which I think that was a 15. I mean, we do have a 15-minute BPR here, but I was this a 5? Yeah. No. What was this? What was this? Is this a 30? 30-minute. Okay, 30-minute. So this was a 30-minute BPR that we just broke underneath on ES. I would expect this to hold if we continue to have bearish order flow to the downside. Like I said, if we are going to go any higher, I want to see us create SMTs with these lows right here, right? Not any of these sort of smaller time frame lows. I want to see something right here. Either this low here for no, it would have to be this low here. So until we get that, or if we want to invert sort of this fair value gap here to go higher, right? Invert this one, then we could see that. And this is also a 30-minute. We have nothing on the 50, 90-minute. Yeah. So again, just watching and holding. This could be something we could look at and say, all right, cool. Like we had this sort of point right before price took off. We could look at that too, which is this here. We broke that, and that is right here. We have not taken that. Technically, this is also an SMT. I'm just looking at, okay, where could price trade into? Well, price could invert this. All right, invert this. We're still respecting this BPR, by the way. On the 15-minute. On the 3, not well, kind of. But on the 15-minute, we haven't even closed inside of it, have we? No. So again, this is why we take partials, right? It's easy to kind of get greedy too. 6 minutes until market open. Let's take a look at, yeah, so we had this. And then 9:45. Cool. Then we have earnings hub here. Yeah. Oh, how did Nike do? And that's not, I gotta sign in. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just watching now. Um 3 minutes till market open, right? Yeah. 3 minutes till market open. Um I'll continue to hold this position. I have my stop loss at a place where I think I don't want to see us trade above, right? So, but I do think that we'll have to create some sort of SMTs down here in order to go higher, right? So I don't want to see, yeah, these SMTs cool, like they'll take us higher for just a second, but ultimately this is what will sort of take us above, key points of price. Um, so I'm just yeah, that's all I'm watching right now is how where does price want to trade between these three assets right now. Let's see. Let's go to the 4 hour on these. Okay. The XY is moving higher, which should take us lower on everything else, right? Yep. This was yesterday's high right here. Do we have a? I'm just looking for sort of any SMTs. We do have an SMT here right now. Okay. 1 minute till less than 1 minute till market open. So here's market open right here. Volatility injection is here. And maybe we trade back into this fair value gap, right? Um, if we do, I want this to be just a liquidity sweep of this high and then continue lower. And like I said, continue lower into um, sort of anywhere on these lows here. So this is where I'm at right now. Stop loss is now in profit. So if I do get stopped out, it'll be in profit. Now, here's another thing that we could look at, right? So YM has wow, YM just pushed high. Okay. We're also creating SMTs right now here between ES and NQ inside of a fair value gap. So this to me, I'm still okay holding this trade to the downside, right? We just swept an intermediate low or high, sorry, creating SMTs inside of a fair value gap for one of these assets. This was I'm pretty sure this was, 17. Okay, this was we can look at it this way. 17 minute which is also 15, a 15-minute, but the 15 is um a little bit taller. 15-minute fair value gap here, traded into that. We have created that SMT inside of this inversion fair value gap on ES. Okay, maybe just watching. I mean, this is the whole point of like volatility injection. It's just like it is what it is. It's volatility. And we could get stopped out, right? Ultimately, I hope not, but we could. Now we don't have SMTs here anymore. Trading into that 730 open. Okay, so this is the SMT. Maybe we create this low here on YM. Everything else does not. So once we create this low on YM, I'll exit my position because we are so far away from all of this right now. We also have this sort of this other SMT down here. ES is failing to drop below this BPR. There is, this is going to be our SMT on the lows. And there, I'm stopped out at this point. Yeah, so at this point, even then, like, I, this is a great, yeah. And we haven't created SMTs quite yet, but we have a lot of it. Like all of these lows, like all of these are now SMT with YM, right? Yeah, so ES didn't even push below this while everything else did. So, whoops. Yeah, so I got stopped out in profit. We took profits and then, I mean, even, yeah, this whole trade, like, it was a small trade, but it was in profit. Now, I am trying to do my a little bit better on sort of creating. Hold on, I'm just looking here. Now I want to see this get ran through on all assets right now. So I'll be watching that. I'll be watching this high, which created our initial SMTs. I'll watch this high, and then I will also watch this high here. So these are two levels and areas that I would want to see price, see how price reacts through these, right? So this is one, and this is another one here. Technically, it's this one here on ES and cube, but you get the point. That one and this one. So I want to see how these two areas get reacted to. But anyways, oh wait, why am I long? Oh, I guess my stop loss was okay. Cool, I'll take it. Wow, great, guys. I honestly, I didn't. I'm gonna get out of this because that was accidental. Yeah, that was odd. I mean, it worked out. I was like, okay, why is there still numbers? Like, why is it still running? I don't understand. But anyways, um, yeah. So now I want to see SMTs between these highs, right? We also have a 51-minute inversion here. I don't know. I feel like inversions have been such a sort of better sort of gap. Um, than the original. Like, I don't know. I guess because you can see more of like, okay, what did price do? It held, broke below, held. Now I can see and like expect price to hold. Or if it really wants to, like, it's just an area that I could see. All right, cool. It's you got some experience. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. Here, I mean, we're still inside of a. This is an 8 hour fair value gap here. We're still inside of it. Like we traded inside of it and gone, now we're lower. Here is our SMT that we just created. This is a sequential SMT to the upside. So sequential SMT to the upside. There is, yeah, between YM. So now maybe I want to see us, if we break above this, maybe we wait straight into that weekly opening gap, which is also a fair value gap on a, let's see, this is a higher, oh, this is a pretty high time frame. I like this. Okay, so we would trade into maybe that fair value gap. 90-minute. So maybe we create SMTs, right? So then we have, okay, so you can see YM is just down here. We can expect for this to break above this, right? Intermediate high. Hopefully maybe trade or tap into this 90-minute fair value gap. From this, we'll drop into a lower time frame, look for an entry to go low and take out these lows down here, right? Unless we want, then if we want to go higher, then this becomes invalidated, right? Maybe we want to trade above into this, right? Maybe we create a SMT here where YM does not. Maybe YM does trade into sort of this area right here. Uh, NQ does not. But yeah, we have 9:45 news coming up. Then we also have our 9:50 macro. So remember that that's going to be sort of a bigger push right now. So my goal is I'm going to go in with sort of a heavier position than I'm used to, and just kind of trust what I see with areas and SMT and all of this stuff. And if I get stopped out, like I'll yeah, I'll be okay with that. Honestly though, like I'm okay with just getting stopped out. Like I don't mind it. I just have to monitor sort of my reaction to getting stopped out multiple times at this, uh like I would be okay going in maybe two or three times in a setup that I see, playing out. But anything past that, then it's like, all right, cool, chill, cool it, like for example, if I wouldn't have taken this to the upside here, where was it? I lost it. Yeah, this right here. If I wouldn't have taken this entry, I would have missed all of this, right? Because I got stopped out once here. So, you know, just it was worth the risk. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It was worth the risk just because the setup was there. And yes, I got stopped out, but I think a lot of people I've heard this like, hey, like, you get stopped out, like take a second, whatever. That's true, take a second, but at the same time, it's like you have the discernment to know, like, okay, this is a setup that I trust, that I feel convicted to get in, versus I just want to get in because I got stopped out and I'm mad, right? Like I think we've all gotten into that. It's like, man, I got stopped out. I'm mad. I'm gonna get back in and I'm gonna make this work. And it just doesn't work like that. Hey, let me know where you're watching from. Um, Also, if you have any questions on any of this, any of what I'm doing, or if you have suggestions, like let me know. I am always open to conversations. So here we go. So YM is trading lower. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, look, I'm sort of gonna start planning this to see what I would do, what I wouldn't do, right? Um, I'm probably take it right into this new day opening cap to see what this could look like for me. And just sort of start framing a trade. Like this is almost a 1-to-1. I don't know. All right, so 9:45 coming up here soon. I will frame this here. I would take this. Oh wait, but I have to take it somewhere else. Hold on. 21, 50. And then 39, 25. Oh, cool. So I've got this trade set up and framed. Basically, what I want to see is just us tap into this fair value gap if that's what we want to do. 9:45 is here. This is what it's doing. We also have SMT here, right? So that's another thing. It's like, all right, we have SMT. It's sort of into. I mean, it hasn't really tapped into anything, but we have it. So we have SMT from this high to this high, and so we could frame a trade here into um, 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 um. Here's the thing though, like I don't know if we'll be. It's like, are we gonna tap into this? Like YM is just moving. All right, so here YM is now YM is now creating SMTs in the opposite direction. So we have okay. All right, let's take a look at this. A little bit different. All right, this is the low of this last week. So YM has just taken the low of last week. Okay, the low of okay, the low of that last week has already been taken. So okay, no sequential SMT there yet. Right, the low of this past week looks like it would be this. Okay, so right now there's no sequential SMTs. Between last week's low for each of these assets, right? Even they're not the same low, but I'm just looking at it as last week's low. But we do have sequential SMTs here between, well, not sequential, we just have SMTs. So there's one. All right, there's that one. And we have this one. Okay. Yeah, maybe we do move higher into that fair value gap and then pull back some. Yeah, maybe this just gets ran through. I don't see it. Do we take this high? 948, 950 is coming up in about in about a minute, actually. Yeah, YM is just dropping lower at this point. If 950 will do one or two things, right? It'll run through all of this, or it'll tap, or just drop from here. So 20 seconds until 950 macro opens. 945 news took us higher. 9 or 8:30 news took us lower. 10 seconds until that macro opens. So yeah, and then this is the risk. Like, here's 950. Here's that 950 macro. Yeah. So this is my risk, 150 for this much. I'm okay with that. Honestly, I might even see, we just created this SMT right now. And then we have a crazy SMT. This is sequential. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. This 90-minute fair value gap is overlapped with a new week opening gap. So that makes it, to me, sort of a higher probability rejection area. Oh. Rudy. All right, hold on. I'm gonna listen to something. You okay? You want? Should I put my camera on? Type one. If I should put my camera on, or two if not. I'm also gonna listen to something because I'm waiting for price. Waiting for price. Ooh. Oh, this is Star Wars like. All right. All right, so here we go. We are moving lower. I am going to take an entry down here. And if I get stopped, then I will get stopped, and that's okay. There we go. I am in. Okay, I'll put it on. Oh, there. Let's get this out of the way. Hold on. Man, yeah. See, we should have stuck with our. I'm gonna stick with my initial 20 right here, and then what do we say? Right? No. Yeah, right here. This is our initial plan. The other one just backfired on us. No, cancel. Yeah, that's good. So this is what I'm taking. I'll probably take this here, right? Into that fair value gap there that we have, which is yeah. It's a 17-minute. That works. I would take this into that fair value gap. Oh, are we about to get ran through again? Yeah, we are. Boom. We got ran through. All right. Well, that failed. Cool. Cool. But you see, like I still like we're in a I don't know. I still like this plan. Right? I still like this plan, but maybe we go for this maybe we're going for this high here. It's like it would have been nice if we wicked, come back lower, but we didn't. Currently we're sitting at SMTs here between ES and Y or ES and Q and YM. So YM has not taken that. I don't know. I still like this plan to the downside, but we have this bullish SMT here. So, and YM hasn't moved away from this low. I don't know. It's like I'm bullish, but not really. Put my camera on. Boom, there I am. Here I am. I'm gonna put a different lens on this bad boy. I don't know. I still like the short idea. There we go. Much better. Yeah, I still like the short idea on this, but let's see. Maybe I scale into this with like single contract, like single micros as we move up. Like as we start moving up here, right? So maybe I'll take one here and then another one here. And then that's 3. And then, yeah, so on and so forth. So, and if it doesn't, I just like, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. So we're here for this. But I'll add as we see fit here. Because we do have, so let's just take a look at it, right? Even if we're on 90-minute cycles, let's go to, if this is our 90-minute cycles or microcycles or whatever you want to call them, like these are 90 minutes, right? So we're inside this 90-minute, and then inside the 90-minute, you got more. This is 10 o'clock. Oh, wait, we do have 10 o'clock news, huh? I will add a second one here. Boom. So we do have 10 o'clock news here, right? Here ES is not taking that. Yeah, huge SMT here. Even if ES takes it, there's still no, yeah, it's still an SMT. It's pretty big SMT too. I want to see us trade into, if NQ can tap into this, that would be awesome. But it doesn't have to, right? Let's see. Actual greater than forecast is good for currency. Okay. Industry expansion. Okay. I guess that's good. But who cares? So that's it for today. And then we have other stuff, but I would say that was sort of the big one for today, right? Let's get rid of this for a second so we can see what's going on. Okay, so NQ NQ's about to take on. Okay, it didn't. Hold on, let me change this. Oh, guys, I totally did not do this. We didn't even put this up. My bad. So today's verse comes from Matthew 5:8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. That is the verse of today. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that, but I did. And then here's what I'm listening to right now. You want to listen to it? Cool, cool beans. Um, so what do we have now? We have a couple of SMTs, right? We have SMT right here right now. Here, let me put it all in NQ so we can see it. Let me get rid of all. Let's clear the chart. No, keep them. Let's clear everything. Let's clear this and this, and now we have a clean chart. All right, so what do we have? What do we have? NQ is about to trade above all of this here. This would be another pretty large SMT here, right? Okay, so now we have SMT here. So we can expect a couple things, right? So let's take this here. Let's take that. This is one point that we've broken. Let me get rid of all of this on yes. No, keep them. Cool. Okay, so we're doing a couple of things here. We are trading into this fair value gap, right, on NQ. We're trading into this fair value gap on NQ, which is also, we have, this would be sort of a breaker area, which we could see price react from, because all of this has been rebalanced. Like this whole move has already been, this whole move's, it's been rebalanced, right? So do I expect us to see this sort of I don't expect us to see this unless we're moving higher at this point, which we could, right? We still could. So just keep that in mind. So we have SMTs here, right? Between this session high or this, no, yesterday's high and today's high. So we have that. Then within sessions, right, we have this here on, this would be the high of this session, right? Yeah. To here, to even now, there's SMT, right? Between YM and now in this. What else do we have? Do we have a micro? We do have a micro right now forming between, this is the, oh, sorry, this is the high of that 90-minute cycle. This, right? So from here on YM, so we got a couple of SMTs, and this is all happening inside this fair value gap here. So it's all happening inside of that fair value gap. Let me get rid of these other SMTs. We know they're there, right? We know they're there, but we're looking at sort of the yesterday's high. This was yesterday's high with today. We had this SMT, right? Yesterday's low with today, which literally just took us higher. But now we have the opposite, so we can expect this if we want to. We could come back and run this here. We'll see. We shall see. All right, so our setup is here, right? We have a setup. Now let's look for like, okay, where can we know that's there. Look at the 30-minute. We got 20 minutes until this 30-minute closes. So we still got plenty of time. And here is, yeah, we're still good there. YM is pushing higher. This whole move, this is a big move. Even if like 62. Like this is a pretty big move. So what can we expect after this? Honestly, probably just like some sort of consolidation up here, right? Not really much. I mean, that was a pretty decent move. We look at it. We look at this. This was almost half of this. Yeah, half of that half of this whole down move, which is kind of insane. I would say that was the move for today. Um, and this could pull back a little bit, but okay. So now we have. Let's just kind of talk through this again. Let's go to the 2 minute. We have okay. We have SMT on the. We'll probably have SMT on the 1 minute. Here's a run of a low SMT. Okay, so I just took I added to this position, right? So I was adding to this position from down here. And I think I'm gonna take like most of it off. There. There, I took most of it off. Here, let me show my position right now. There it is. I'm just kind of watching. So I had 20 micros on so I started adding, right? From here to here, here. I ultimately, if we went past the consequent encroachment, then I would have gotten stopped out at about $800 of loss. No, sorry, that was not it. My stop was actually like half of that half, so pretty close actually. So I had my stop right around here, right around there, and then added from like here up. Um, like I'm just trying to get a little bit more used to seeing some of that risk, right? Like those bigger numbers. I took half of my position here, then 1/4 of that, and I'm down to 1/4 of that left. Which honestly, I'll probably just take. I'm taking 2 more off here. And no, not yet. At 28, right here. They're still on there. Somewhere around there. There. Now I'm down to. Oh, I only took one. My bad. There. Now I'm down to 3 contracts. And I'm gonna move that to break even. Right in front of break even. So my entry was 107. Right here. Stop loss is now here. And yeah, now I'm just letting this thing do its thing, right? So um it's 10:16, and this is why I took, like, as soon as I see a place to take partials, right? Like, I'll take them. Even so, since I'm not necessarily looking for market maker models that often. I'm just looking for SMT entries and exits. I will do my best to kind of take partials at the first PD array, right? So we had a fair value gap right here on the 5 minute on it. Here, let me show you here. We had this 5 minute fair value gap right here that presented itself. So as soon as we hit below consequent encroachment, I took partials just because I've seen just fair value gaps wick and continue higher, right? So I was like, all right, cool. Let's take half of that position off. Stop loss, that was like a 1.5 to almost 2, maybe. Let's see. My entry was here. Stop loss was like right here. Yeah, it's like a 2 to 1. So I took half of my position there. Then once we broke below this, I took half of my position, or a quarter of that position. And then now we're here. I took some more. We're inverting this fair value gap at this moment. So, you know, we I feel okay leaving 3 contracts going from here to target down to this area right here, right? Maybe this low right here. We have a different low on, so why am this low is actually up here. It's right here. So, and I don't care for that. I want to see this low get taken. So now we have these are not correlated anymore for this move. And so I'm not trusting this low. I'm trusting this low here and this low here. And you can see how they're totally different. So I'm just watching. If we start to get more of a, if I start to see SMTs happening a little bit more, then yeah, I'll see what I take or not. So you see how this is liquidity right here. This low is liquidity. This is liquidity. This is liquidity. So I'm just gonna wait for these to get ran through. This is a low that I would expect to see um, sort of SMTs maybe here, but I expect us to run through this right now. Right? Maybe this is a Judas swing to the upside, giving us that SMT. And this is where I'm trying to get a little bit better at like entering and having a little bit of a higher risk, right? For stuff like this, where I enter with 10 contracts and my risk is what, $800 to $1,000. Yeah, like there's $600 there. And you know, even if it was right here, I think this is like 1,000. Okay. 940, yeah. Take all the way to here, but I would scale out of this quickly. As soon as I scale, the quicker I scale, the tighter my stop becomes, right? So if I scale off half, then I move half of my stop. And this changed. Before it used to be like, okay, well, we're gonna go to 3 to 1 and then scale that and then manage our risk, whatever. But I think because of the like larger positions, I feel much better taking half at like 2 to 1, moving my stop to half. So then my stop becomes, this becomes 250 after I take half of this position, like half of this position, right? So then my risk now goes from 1,000 to 250, and I still have half of my position to run lower. Once it goes to like 3 to 1 down here, then I move my stop in front of my take profit. Now that whole trade is de-risked in profit no matter what. Right? So like right now, this is in profit. If we get stopped out, you can see this right here. 3 contracts. 3 contracts. How many? Almost 400 ticks here. That's quite a bit. Right? So I'm probably gonna take, yeah. It's like it would be stupid not to take some profit now. So now I have 2 contracts in there. Letting those 2 contracts run, do their thing. Did you catch any of this? Like there was multiple SMTs and they were clean. We're ranging right now. I know we're just sort of accumulating down here right after this big move. We accumulated, but there's a lot of great entries here within this accumulation process. All right, we had SMT here, right? Boom, take us lower. So we had SMT down here. No, we didn't. Where was it? Is it this one? Yeah, this one. This one took us higher. From here to here took us higher. Then from here to here took us lower. Then from here to here took us higher. And now from here to here it's taking us lower. So there was beautiful, clean entries for SMT. Let me know if you caught this one, Chris. Or if you caught any of these. I know you said you caught some. Let me know which one you caught. Give me the date and the price on when you saw that SMT and the time frame. Like if you were in the 5 minute or whatever. So we're still in this 2 contracts. Probably take one out here. I'm gonna take one off. Now I'm down to 1 contract. So now this is completely, my stop is now. So if my entry was there, my stop is now. Yeah, my stop is now here. This trade has been completely de-risked. It's in a profit. Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I would be okay with taking the rest of this position, but it is only 1 contract. I moved my stop into profit. So no matter what, like this is already a win for this trade, right? So I was risking, I think I ended up risking 800 in total. So it was an $800 risk here as I scaled into this, right? And then $800 risk, and then we profited 1,500-ish, I think. Or no. Oh, no, sorry. About 2 grand. This is on an eval. So yep. I'm gonna take the last contract down here. So I'll take it here. So this will be my take profit. This is my trade right now. All right, you can see it right here. 9.4. Oh. $9,425. There it is, 9,425. That is my take profit for this trade. We're sort of hitting this BPR. Is this a BPR? No, this is just a fair value gap. So I could take some off here. I could take the last one off here. We're respecting that. We tapped into it. Could probably see high, like come up higher. Honestly, I'd probably take this off at this point. I'm gonna move my stop loss right in here. Stop loss is now there. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I want to see us flush down to here, right? So I moved my stop loss just in case we want to, come back to have half of this moved to the downside. But honestly, looks just like a this is just a Judas swing at this point. I am gonna go ahead and just move my stop right here. Since it is just one contract, I don't want to see us. We might have a hard time breaking through this right now. Move up and then break fully down, but I don't want to give any of this back. If I can take this, then I'll take it. Does that make sense? And then after this, I can expect for price to sort of consolidate a little bit more. We had accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and then right here either continuation or um bless you, or reversal, bless you. So you can see that here, right? Manipulation, boom, to the upside. This was our distribution here. We distributed up and down, so I don't expect anything else for the rest of the day on price. Actually, maybe the PM session, right? Maybe we get some sort of drop lower to continue to take these lows. And so we've did a couple things, right? This is a 3 drives pattern, 1, 2, 3, to take us lower. And I don't. We also tapped into this fair value gap 3 times, right? 1, 2, 3. Uh, yeah, we sold above these opening prices, right? If we get below, like uh, I don't. If we get below this, I will be looking for an entry to go, you know, if we do get some sort of fair value gap or something or anything on a higher time frame, then I'll look to, I don't know. I right now I'm just I want to see us take all of this. Take that and that, this, create a new daily low or weekly low for this week. Then I would look for some sort of long entry at that point. And yeah, all right. So here we go. Here goes into our take profit. Let me show you that right here. And we'll see if it takes it. We'll see if it doesn't. Oh, 1050 macro is coming up. So just keep that in mind too, right? 1050 macro is typically another one of these reversal swings that, but we had this Judas swing. So I don't know if that 1050, I think that 1050 macro could be a continuation or a rebalance of sort of this swing, right? So if we look at these candles, we could think of them as gaps as well. There's our profit just hit. So now we're out of this trade. And that was the trade for today. And honestly, it's just being able to risk a little bit more has sort of helped me to not feel like, I don't know, it's kind of nice. It is kind of nice. So let's take a look. Let's take a look back again. So we have that SMT to take us lower into these. So now, yeah, you can play a continuation move, right? So we can see no SMT yet here. And we do have an SMT here, which could take us higher. This is on, but this is the one that took us. And this is that same one. Here it is. Here's this. Yeah, I wouldn't expect us to. This is that SMT that took us lower right now with these highs, right? So we have a second SMT there. Yeah, I would play a continuation lower. But be careful with YM. YM has just created a low of the week where these other assets have not. So you could you could you could have higher prices right now running all of these three on ES and YM. NQ, this is where it gets a little tricky, right? So NQ has already ran these points of liquidity here. YM has not, ES has not. So just reanalyze, like, okay, what can I do? What's gonna happen? Whatever. See, I'm glad we took that that other position here. We would have gotten stopped out. We would have given all of it back. So this means right now, this is respecting this is respecting bullish order flow, or this bullish PD array in a bullish, um like we are moving higher from here. Move lower, broke structure, right? Moving higher. This could be manipulation move to go right in the middle of this. No, I don't know that we could take this, but I don't know that we would. Yeah, this would rebalance this right here. If we move into this upper half of that fair value gap, that would rebalance that whole move, and it would make a little bit more sense, right? So maybe, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could play this a different ways, right? So you have, we just created a BPR here. If you think we are gonna go lower, you could start to sort of frame a trade. But at this point, I'm gonna let price move away from all of this. Once we get that macro, I'll see what price is doing. I'd feel a lot better if we trade back into this fair value gap, right? Or we take these lows. Once we take these lows right here, or if we trade into this fair value gap, then that feels better. Like right now, we're in the middle of this full range with no real direction. We went external, right, to internal. Now we're going to external, but I don't know if we're going to this external or this external down here. So it would make more sense to go down here for this external before going higher. Or if we want to continue lower into a daily PD array, which would be this other fair value gap down here, right? We have this daily fair value gap. We also have a BPR. If we look at the 2-day, we have this 2-day fair value gap here. We could look to trade into. I mean, we're a little far, right? So maybe we do trade back up, right? Creating some sort of momentum to these to that fair value gap way up here. This one. This is an so maybe we trade into this fair value gap here. All right. Tap into that, go lower, because on a higher time frame, this is also this whole thing is an order block here. from here to here is a gigantic order block. So we could tap into this and then continue lower. This is an order block here. So now we have an order block overlapping with a fair value gap. This is an area that we could see price sort of trade into, right? We have that on ES is right here. ES is not really traded into this fair value gap. YM would trade into, honestly, YM may not even, YM might be the one that give us a an SMT, right? Or trade into half of this wick, which if we know about wicks, uh, they act as gaps, right? So order block with a fair value gap, right? I would look, we just traded into this. So I would want to see us take, I think we would take these lows. All right, maybe that maybe that 1050 macro takes all of these lows here, giving us a sort of maybe a daily, just kind of looking to see what it could give us. I mean, in our reality, we don't really have to take these out. Like we're pretty much set to, let's go to the weekly. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much set to go higher before, or just continue lower. Like it would have to be a strong move for us to go lower, right? Like we would have to, Thursday, yeah, so 10 a.m. tomorrow. Oh, here it is. Was this NFP? That's not NFP. The first Friday of each month. Oh, okay. 8:30 a.m. I guess, yeah. NFP is tomorrow at 8:30. 8:30 could move us down into, I mean, NFP could move us down here. Tap into this, right? Retrace into some sort of PD array that gets created to go lower, or NFP just continues higher from here tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be the move to keep an eye on. 8:30 a.m. Yeah, like you could see this and be like, yeah, there was nothing here for me. But I think if we look closer, we were able to see and sort of start to frame. I do want to get better at my entries with SMT. I want to kind of understand, all right, like where my so from my understanding is if you have an SMT, right, high time frame, then you would look for an intermediate time frame SMT, right? And then inside of that, you would look for a low time frame SMT, right? And then take your entry there. I've just found that doing this and putting my stop at like a recent high or something, I found myself getting stopped out. So I'm still trying to figure out, okay, what is like how do I consider protected highs or lows or whatever? And maybe it's just a matter of me sort of doubling my risk at areas like this, or maybe doing a half entry, putting the other half as an entry above, and then my risk above. So like I'll do half of my entry, then half of my entry, and then my stop loss right here. So then I get filled, right? Maybe something like this. Then I get filled right here. And yeah. and then might take profit. So anyways, yeah, like I said, I think we're going for these lows. There it is. Yep. We're currently forming SMTs right now between ES. But this is again, I want to see if we could get SMTs on a high time frame, and then we look for entry on a lower time frame. So looking at this low here, I'm also looking at this low. So these two I'm looking at. This would be sequential also. YM has already ran this one and this one. So even now we have SMTs to go higher. This is his session SMT. Yeah. Okay, so DXY we have sequential. Well, sequential would be this high here, which we're not anywhere close, but we do have a SMT right now. Until we break this. So this is a bullish SMT for the dollar. Since it's inverted, sorry, since it's inverted, even if Euro USD breaks below, GBP USD does not. It doesn't seem like it would. It's trading into that fair value gap. Yeah, this could be. So we do have divergence there. Does that make sense? Did you guys catch any of these? Let me know. Oh, there's sick. Did you get some wins? A little trophy guy. We don't have to. I don't know that we have to run these anymore. Right, we are currently sitting on an SMT right here. This is a session SMT. This could take us higher. Let me take a look. Okay, so this already took us higher. This is that session SMT that took us higher. we have another SMT here, right? Between this session and this session right now, this is another SMT. So we don't really need to take, like, we don't really need, we have this one here and we have this one here. So two SMTs, right? We had this one to take us lower. Ultimately, didn't break below, right? Because YM took, YM basically ran all of the liquidity. So we're respecting this fair value gap. We're respecting this order block here on the 5-minute. Yeah, we're respecting all of this right now. So that fair value gap's holding. This is also holding here. Consequent encroachment of that. I'm gonna say this wouldn't have been a bad entry. And unless we create another SMT, we're looking to target this. Right here. Do I have a little target thing? Yeah, right here. Target. Boom. I don't think I would take this as it stands right now. Go below right here. Well, you could. It's gonna take a while. Yeah, that's 670 ticks from here to here. That's gonna take a minute. I mean, that was a move, right? So it could happen. 1050 macros coming up. In 30 seconds. So maybe we can try to play this 1050 macro. We just gotta frame and see what we're trying to do. I mean, this is technically not SMT because this is that low right there. It's also liquidity, yeah. So this was liquidity. I don't know. I'll probably frame it for continuation to the downside. Here's this fair value gap we're respecting right now. The 1050 macro is in. Let's see. Can we? I give this a shot. Just take this down here. Yeah. All right. So I'm in. Stop losses here. My target is right at this this open here. So it's quite a smaller trade, right? There. And we got stopped out there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's like a lot of this stuff down here is kind of like some of these low points are not the same lows as these, right? So to me, this is a place where just price could just run all of this and create a correlating point of liquidity that's the same on all assets, right? So, but again, we just gotta try. Like right now, this is a point where we haven't ran through. We haven't ran through this, so there's no yeah, like all of this is still pretty much all right. So now we've ran through it. YM has not. So now we have that. We're trading into this 1 minute. I think this is OTE as well. So let's check. It is OTE. Okay, I like this setup. This would be, if I do take this and if I can frame something, this would be kind of the last one that I take. Yeah, I like it. IM has not taken that. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. This will be kind of the last one that I do. Yeah. We have a tiny SMT here. Inside of here. Yeah. This is lower. This is going lower. We missed this one. Could have been right here. Cool. If we are respecting all of this, could possibly frame another entry right here. Like so. Yeah, there's, yep, it's gone. All right. Well, that was a good try. Let's go back to the 5 minute. Had the right idea, just got stopped out. Here we have small SMT. Man, I don't know. This one felt a little bit cleaner. Inside of inversion. All right, that is it's no longer an SMT. Yeah, I think as soon as we once we run these lows, we'll probably consolidate, and I think that's it. Like it's 11, so yeah, this would have been a great if we caught this. That would have been awesome because our target was here, or at least our initial target, right? We're expecting this PDO rate to kind of hold price up if we wanted to go higher, but it looks like it's inverting it now. This 5 minute has been holding pretty good, so just yeah. If you didn't take partials, I would take them now. And then maybe let's see. It looks like we're going lower here. Maybe we create some sort of SMTs here. Remember, we have this inversion, this whole thing, this 30-minute. This is that 30-minute IFVG. Get rid of these SMTs here. All right, well, this target was, oh, nope, that was pretty good. I like this. This is also a 30-minute inversion, right? So 17. Oh my goodness. So maybe if we come down here and create another SMT, I will probably jump into it. Um, unless we want to move hmm. And okay, so for continuation, I am looking at SMTs, right? To go lower. For reversals, I'm looking at SMTs on key time, like key areas, right? So we know that this 30-minute has been a great place for a price to kind of completely take a turn. We know that this 8-hour FVG has been a place where price has taken a turn. Um, what else? Let's see. Do we have anything here? We do. I'm pretty sure we have. Yeah, here it is. This is again. This is inside of a. I believe it's an 8 hour. Yeah. Here's a 6 hour, 4 hour. And we're just gonna close this one in. 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, and 1 hour. So here's our 4 hour FBG. We see price respecting that right now. Again, if we move into here, I'll probably take only if we create SMTs, right? Only if we create an SMT. Yeah, I mean, I think there it is. Oh, we did create. I didn't see this. So we had a 1 minute. Here's a 1 minute SMT equal lows here. Maybe we rebalance this and take us lower. Here's our rebalance. OTE is right over here. See if we can frame something here. This yeah. Honestly, I'm probably just yeah, no, I think that's it. Yeah, like you look at this on the 15-minute and it looks like trash, right? Like all of this just looks like there's not much. But then you look at it on a lower time frame and you can see structure, right? We said, okay, this thing could probably just consolidate, and it did. So it's now consolidating here. Um, so honestly, I think at this point, I wouldn't, I wouldn't necessarily mess with this. This will be sort of a playing these kind of moves, right? And not necessarily looking for, you know, profits at liquidity points, but maybe just internal. So if you have a fair value gap here, enter here and look for sort of a like a fair value gap underneath or whatever. I wouldn't expect this to just hunt liquidity back and forth. Right? Or just look for SMTs. SMTs up and down, and that's it. But if you already took your trades, like, then let it be. So all right. So just to recap, I took 8:30. I took this 8:30 move to the downside in the morning, got stopped out, right? And took profits. Then we had this move, this 10 or 950 macro, right? Right here, this 950 macro. We had 945 news or 930 news, whichever one it was. Took us up here, created this SMT, right? We were looking at two different ones. We were looking at, I think it was this one, and then this one, or this one right here. So then I was like, okay, cool. I moved up. It created SMTs between this, started to do single contracts, added into this, then added pretty heavy up here. Ultimately, uh, caught this move to the downside, which was a nice move. Like, I took the first half right in this fair value gap, let the other one run here. I exited my position fully around here. When I saw this sort of hidden SMT, and I was like, all right, well, this is that low. Yeah, I'll take profits here. So I took it out, and then we moved lower, and we've just been sort of ranging here. So that was the trade for today. I did take a shot at I think it was a low right around here. So to take this, which is a beautiful down move here, either this one or this one of these two. We got stopped out, and then now we're here. So all right, I am out of here. This we'll be back tomorrow. NFP is at 8:30 in the morning, so I'll probably try to go live a little bit earlier than 8:30 so we can kind of talk through NFP, monitor, and just read price together as that happens. Here is this is the P&L for the day. It is a great day, but um I mean, this is, again, my goal is like to just be a little bit more, a risk a little bit more. So I'm sort of not really counting all of this just because I know that drawdown with the higher risk is going to take, a good portion of this. Um, if I do enter a couple trades and they go down, right? So like if I'm down two trades of $600, that's like 1,200. That's like this whole NQ gain. Um, and I just have to be okay with that. So learning to just be all right with those losses too, right? And staying disciplined with entries. And yeah, I am trying to refine a lot of the SMT entries that I take. So I'll be going back and sort of studying why 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 this worked and why this didn't, right? So I'll study that. I'll see what I could have done better, what I should have, yeah, basically what I could have done better, and just go from there. Um, if you guys if you have any questions, let me know. If you felt good about today or the stream, type one. If you did not, just go f yourself. Just kidding. If you did not, go just type two. Let me know what I could have done better. And if you have any questions, just shoot them over to me. So, anyways, we'll be back tomorrow morning, right before 8:30. NFP is at 8:30 a.m. So 8:30 a.m. is going to be a big deal for the market tomorrow. I expect if we don't move low, if we don't take these lows tomorrow or today, we'll take them tomorrow 8:30 a.m. Move us higher, and then we'll see what we want to do from there. Or NFP just takes us and just runs all of this. That'd be interesting. So, still bearish for the. I'm still like, yeah, I'm still pretty bearish on price right now. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. So many things could happen. We'll just have to see about 8:30 a.m. with NFP where it wants to move, what it wants to do, and we'll go from there. All right, go exercise, go read, go do journal. Make sure you journal. So if you don't have your journals, go ahead and do that. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Oh, peace.